One of the questions I get all the time is why would a small brokerage or a small team move to Real Broker? What benefits does it have for you? Chase Giles actually just recently moved to Real Broker. He actually had a family brokerage at KW and they were doing things amazingly. They were fine. And they actually moved their team over to Real recently. So I want to go through and ask Chase, what are the things that made you make that decision? What were some of the positives, the pros and cons? What did you weigh? Because these are questions that I get from you all the time. Chase Giles, we're going to answer the questions. So
let's do it, man.
How long were you in business with your parents?
I am still in business with my parents,
right?
But I have been licensed for 10 years and it's been those 10 years, right? They got their licenses probably 3 years prior to me while I was in high school. So I got mine right out of college. Right out of high school, my first year in college.
Oh, wow.
But full-time since graduation, it's been about 7 years working directly with them.
Oh, amazing. So 7 years with your family. That's got to be an interesting dynamic, right? You know, having your mom and dad is your direct, sponsors or not, but living over you, having a team that's a family team. So, I mean, you'd been at KW for a while. What were some of the things where you started going, okay, I need some changes?
It is an interesting dynamic working with your parents, right? It's been cool to actually see them say, hey, you're the next generation. Take this, run. We trust you. We want you to do branding. My degree was in marketing. So they've let me kind of grow it in the direction that I have been, wanting to.
And you have a great YouTube channel, which thankfully they let you do your thing and run YouTube.
They do,
and that's
and
why
they
we
get to benefit now, right? So I get to send them leads, which is great. They get to work with clients while I'm away, making videos like this, right? And actually, even a step further, they trust me whenever we started to bring up the conversations of switching brokerages.
So what were those things? What were the things that led you to start having those conversations? Because I feel like a lot of people are comfortable wherever they are, but there's something in the back of their mind. What were the things that started weighing on you and like, I think it's time to look at our options?
I think it was the specific care for me. It was the specific care to agents that were truly producing in our market center. Each market center is, owned and operated differently. And specifically for us, I was getting more attention. I was getting more knowledge and more care and more investment from people that were outside of my brokerage, outside of my state, outside of the country, that were actually happened to all be from Real. So there was this spirit of collaboration, of masterminding, of iron sharpening iron that we all need, but I was not getting at my local brokerage where I was paying a lot of money to be there. And so that idea of, am I getting the value? Is the investment of me what I'm paying in with cap and with, fees and all that stuff? Am I getting the direct reward from not only compliance and, insurance and those things that everybody needs, but actually the growth element, right?
Yeah.
So I started getting coaching outside of, KW, out of our brokerage. And then from that came a lot of great connections that furthered, where I wanted to, or the direction that I wanted to grow my business in. And so from that, there ended up being some kind of local decisions that changed as well. But really the question that I continue to ask myself and ask my parents was, are we getting the right amount of value from our local, franchise?
Okay, so having a team structure like that, what were the pros for taking your team like that and bringing them to Real?
I mean, the first pro that I think everybody's going to kind of look at is your P&L, right? So it was at minimum, it was more profitable for our team to be able to, to move to Real. The next thing was really the headache or the oversight. I'm actually a licensed broker in Texas, and so I don't need a lot of handholding. And unfortunately, I feel like I was just constantly being kind of watched, or I don't want to say pestered, but like
there's just a lot of compliance.
There was a lot of compliance, too much. It was cumbersome, not only to me, but also requesting certain things from clients that were only specific to that local franchise. And so it was looking at what's the right balance of quality training, quality oversight, quality compliance, but not too much. And that's been one of my favorite things about moving to Real, is actually how supportive, but also stress-free, hassle-free compliance has been for each of our files, just making the whole transaction smoother for the client and for our team.
So, you reached out, obviously we both do YouTube together, and I feel like it's been kind of fun because we've built that collaboration where, we're helping other agents. In fact, the Elite Award is also a benefit to you, right? Because before at KW, you weren't getting the Elite Award, which is basically you're getting, after paying about 18,000 total of split to Real Broker, you get the Elite Award, which gives you 24,000 back in stock, something that you just don't get at many brokerages, right? For 24,000 back in stock for something that you paid and worked for, no matter what brokerage you're at. So that's a benefit for you guys. But then you're able to actually take time and help other agents. So what has it been like for you giving back to the community as far as helping with YouTube, helping out with other agents that have questions? What does that look like for you?
Man, it's been great. I mean, we are really getting settled in the real community at the moment. So I've just begun that process of finding ways to give back, to share and collaborate, right? Give the things that attracted me to begin with, right?
Yeah.
And it has been super rewarding. I think it's fun to teach and fun to, like I say, sharpen, like iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to only doing that more and more for people all over the country, all over the world, to make ourselves better.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So let's say an agent is considering a move or they're frustrated or something. What do you think of the avenues for them to start questioning or maybe looking into a brokerage like Real?
I think it boils down to value, right? What value am I getting from my existing brokerage, and can I get that, or can I better it somewhere else,
Yeah.
right? My parents are older souls, and they were a little bit more apprehensive for the change in general. And one of the first things that my parents asked was like, "What about the trainings that we do get, right?
Yeah.
Compliance stuff. Who am I going to call whenever I have a contract question?" So I asked you, right?
Yeah.
I somebody that I knew in real in my specific state. I think that's an important piece to it.
Yeah.
You should reach out to and you should say, "Hey, what is it like whenever I have a contract question
Yeah.
or something?"
So
Yeah.
most people go, hey, like if I ask this question, I'm going to be sold. I'm going to be harassed. For you, when you started asking those questions, were you harassed? What was it like for you when you started asking those questions?
No, again, like so much of Reels culture is, generously giving back, right? Just through collaboration. So I don't think I was sold at all, right? It was you were very direct with, "Hey, this is exactly what I do," and actually you even offered Eileen as a backup resource for me to talk about maybe more of the nitty gritty on how the CRM and how we're uploading documents and doing things like that. But you were very just straightforward with, "This is exactly what my experience has been," because it was my first time to go from a in-house brokerage to a virtual brokerage. But quite literally, nothing has changed, right? I have the phone numbers all right there in Rezen on my main page, and within a couple rings, I am talking to the Texas broker or a supportive broker underneath that. I've had a couple Rezen questions, man, couple rings, and I've got or they connect me with the right person. It's really cool. In fact, one time I called Christine, who's an associate, broker, and she was looking at my file as I had
As
the,
you called her?
she was like, "It's so good to hear from you," right? And have we ever met in person? No, but I don't think that's actually important for that relationship. My question was answered. I got clarity into how to do it correctly, going in the future, and I felt cared for, which was important.
Yeah, I mean that's impressive. Like the collaboration, the community. You don't have to be in the same area. This is I had somebody the other day was like, well, Jeremy, our local thing, what we're gonna do locally. Like I want to focus on the local, local, local. I'm like, I think you're missing the big picture. Is that it's not just the local. The local is important, but the fact that I can be in touch with somebody else. I have the ability if somebody's doing something in a totally different facet than I am. Like my job and your job, if somebody reach out to you and say, Chase, I want to join Real, I want to be with you. Hey, here's the top 10 things that I want to do in my business. It's your job then to go, hey, let me help you find the right avenues and people in our space that are going to benefit you. Which Real academies are going to help you. It's my job to make sure you're up and running. Here's the whole list of all of the things to join Real and how that goes and what the process is. Now you're in. Here's the people we got to connect you with and get you going. Because I think the beautiful thing is everybody wants you to be better and work hard, be kind. One Real. Without you doing well, I don't do well. Without the other person doing well, we
Yeah.
don't do well. And so,
There's a cool element with Real, given that it's publicly traded and there's, revenue sharing and in stock allocations and stuff. It's like, if I actually connect that person with the right person to help them do more deals or convert at a better rate, the company does better, I do better, like we all do better
yeah,
together. And that's something I did not previously had. It's like, yes, maybe I felt good about helping the person, but there's actually no financial reward, dollar per hour return
Yeah.
on that time, on that effort, which is not always the most important thing,
Yeah.
but it is nice to have that piece, right?
Yeah, amazing. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me and give back to the community and the agents that maybe are considering Real or thinking about it. If they want to ask you more questions, what's the best way to do that?
The best two options are either my phone number or send me a DM on Instagram.
Awesome. I'll put that in the description below. Definitely reach out to Chase. Like, I think what's really important is that, Real might not be for you. And in fact, we're not for everybody. And I think that's the biggest thing here is that, you might find something better that works for you better in your business and other brokerage. If Real's for you, I think there's great options to talk to people and make your life better. That's our whole job, right? Make life better.
Absolutely is.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Chase. Appreciate you, man. Oh, perfect dab.
Dang.
Perfect dab. That's the way to end it.
Supersonic.